Okay, so this is me. I'm sitting on my porch and I was going to take you on a walk. However, it's raining, and so my new light is not going to withstand the wetness. I wanted to try it out. My dad told me that I need to have a YouTube. This is very Blair Witch Project looking to start. So let me give you my introduction. My name is Kelly Wigton, and I've been working on my fitness for about 4 years. I started with Beachbody after having the twins. I have 3 girls. My oldest is now 7, and the twins turned 6 today. My husband is in the military, and I have done many moves with him, and we are hoping that this is our last move to the North Pacific West. And so, again, I told you it's raining. It rains a lot here. I thought I was going to be a sunny California girl, but after meeting my husband, I followed him around and I gave up my passion to play beach volleyball when we were never stationed next to the beach, and I picked up bikini competitions. So I have been trying to figure out the bikini world and bodybuilding for the last 3.5 years, and just finished my last competition. Again, the reason why we're going to go on a walk is because I'm finishing off from peak week competing and then into my new plan, and I still need to hit 10K miles. So that is my introduction to this YouTube. I will add more on my walk, but I won't have my fancy light with me. So we'll see what you get to see, and I'll try and update you more on what my blog may be about. Stay tuned. I don't know how good this is going to be, but I'll try. Okay, so let's start with, it's raining. Oh, I almost ran into Brennan's truck. Okay, so here I am doing my steps, and I like to include you in on my story. So again, I met my husband 12 years ago, and we got married like the typical lovebirds do. We've been happily married. We had our first daughter in Japan. Ironically, Brandon was in the States training, and I was there with my mom. It was a blissful time for me once I got to 3rd trimester and I no longer had to be pregnant. I thought that pregnancy was something wonderful. However, I puked every day for 5 months, and then the next 2 months I was sick, and it was not beautiful. 3rd trimester, I started to see more of what normal pregnant women felt like. Normal. Funny word. Anyways, so I didn't like pregnancy. I had Quinn. Quinn was a beautiful little 6-pound baby. I had her with my mom, and my mom stayed for a couple of weeks, and then I was on my own in Japan with a newborn. until Brandon came home. And then for his paternity leave, we actually went to Okinawa, which was fun. I got to travel with Quinn quite a bit. It was me and Quinn for a long time by ourselves. Brandon was deployed most of the time. She was a baby. And I cannot see anything. Hopefully you guys can see me. I might step in a puddle. Let's see if I can go where there's a little more light. Okay, so I did get to come back to the States for my sister's wedding, and that was beautiful. Again, Quinn and I had a great time traveling. I loved being a mom. Every stage was like, does it get any better? This is amazing. I love this stage. I love being a mom. So, Brennan and I wanted to have our kids close together. I got pregnant again when Quinn was about 9 months old, but we lost the baby somewhere between 8 and 9 weeks, but the baby never came out. So I had to use medication. This was my 5th miscarriage. The first one came by surprise and actually was twins. So I knew twins were a possibility for me, but I never thought that I'd have another opportunity to be a mom of twins. I just wanted another baby. Yes, let's talk about the miscarriages. I had a condition called MTHFR, mutations on a specific gene. I was told if I took folate, that would help. I don't know what helps. Miscarriage is actually more common than people think. So I have 5 heavenly babies, 3 on earth. The twins were a rainbow baby. Actually, Quinn was a rainbow baby too. So after my last miscarriage and moving back to the States from Japan, we got pregnant again, and I was terrified to go to the doctor's office just because what could they do for me if the babies had a low heart beat, or I just didn't think that there was much they could do at such a young age in the womb. So I delayed it over and over again, and then finally going in, I think around 13 weeks or so, the gal couldn't find a heartbeat, and I was already starting to prepare myself for bad news when she called in the midwife. So then the midwife came in and she measured my belly and was like, "Are you sure you got your dates right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I miscarried, then I had a period, and then I didn't have a period, and this was it. So yes, I'm pretty sure I'm around 12, 13 weeks. And she's like, "You're measuring like 16. And so then she went and got an ultrasound, and she wouldn't tell me anything. Finally, she showed me the screen, and I see 2 heads. They're like in a car, one right behind each other. I'm like, okay, I think I know what I see. She's like, well, there's 2 of them. And they both have strong heartbeats. And then they took me into another room to get more images. She tells me that they're identical twins and they're girls. Actually, my friend is the first one to know because she was babysitting Quinn while I was at the appointment. And then I didn't tell Brandon until I got home. It was shocking. I had no idea what the next couple months were going to look like. So, lo and behold, we're excited. I don't even remember telling the parents or anything. It was just, I was feeling pretty good about everything. And I knew lots of prayer was going to be laid over these 2 babies. Okay, so after that, let's fast forward a couple months. I wasn't feeling too hot, and so things weren't awesome. I remember sitting down across the dinner table with Brandon. Watching a 9-month-old and carrying twins, I could definitely say it's not a piece of cake. Many times. Oh, and then we're remodeling the house too. Yeah. So we sitting down at the table eating our dinner, and I just remember putting my hands over my face and saying, I don't know if I'm going to survive. And at the moment, I didn't know the full truth of that, but it was true. Fast forward a couple more months, and I'm in the hospital. They're telling me that I need to have a rare procedure, or both of the twins aren't going to survive. So we go down to LA, where this procedure is only done in a handful of places. And I'm sick. I'm super sick. Like, to the point where if I shut my eyes, I didn't know if I was going to wake up. I remember the feeling in the hospital of death. It was just awful. Fortunately, I do think that things were timed perfectly, and the procedure was done. They took a liter of fluid out of me, and they also fused the vessels. It's called TTTS, twin-to-twin transfusion syndrome. It's where one baby is stealing all the nutrients from the other, and neither one of them are healthy. So they do this procedure, and they fuse the vessels in my placenta. They go in the side, so the umbilical cord is no longer sharing between the 2 twins, and they're only getting the nutrients from me. Next morning, we have another ultrasound, and it shows super positive results, and the reversal of everything is just amazing, not short of a miracle. So anyhow, this was about at 23 weeks pregnancy, and then I held on, being on bed rest, only getting up to go pee for another 4 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks. The babies were born at 27 weeks, 6 days. I remember wanting to sleep. And at the time, I didn't know I was like having contractions. I mean, it was like Braxton Hicks is like super false. And so it's like I was blaming it on that. I was in denial. Just trying to hold on. Anyhow, I don't know if it's my bravery or stupidity. I'm just kidding. No, I can handle a lot of pain. Anyhow, I went to bed early that night and my water broke. And I knew it was my water and I didn't just pee my pants. So I tell Brandon. Brandon calls the doctor. And we head to Reno. It's about an hour and so drive. It was a long drive. Didn't have much to say. It was scary. Arrive at the hospital. They check me in. And I'm just sitting there trying it with contractions, and they're trying to stop it from all happening. And then, let's see, I think it was around 3 o'clock where Allison just said, "Hey, I'm coming out." And I forgot to tell you that I had a cerclage done. So my cervix was sewn shut. But Allison wanted to come through anyways. I don't know what made my doctor get off his couch at 3 o'clock in the morning to come check on me. I think he said he was watching the baseball game or something on TV. Anyways, he came to check on me. And when he did, it was time to have the babies. Emergency labor. Allison came out with maybe a push. And then I tried to get Lillian out. However, it wasn't happening, and the doctor had to make quick decisions and do a C-section. So I got a double whammy. And it was all super fast, so I was kind of chopped up. And very interesting situation. Allison, when she came out, she was crying. Lillian was not. Super scary. I still remember it. It was the long, I don't know, I mean, I want to say 10 seconds, but it was the longest 10 seconds of my life. I didn't care that I wasn't sewn together. I just wanted that little baby to start crying. And now I'm gonna make a joke. Because I do that when I'm uncomfortable. They cried and they cried. Actually, that joke's gonna come later, because they were actually really good NICU babies. Lillian did start crying, thank God. And they were checked into the NICU. I didn't get to see them or hold them. Actually, I think it was still a couple days, because their policy is you got to be able to get up out of bed and walk, and you have to go pee by yourself in order to go down to the NICU. So Brandon got to see them before I did. And man, was it a long road. We spent 102 days in the NICU, and I went every single day. I stayed 10 to 12 hours, and I pumped, oh man, I pumped so much milk. Every 2 hours, I woke up diligently throughout the night. I was gonna feed those babies because that's all I could do. I knew I could. So I guess this will end my first blog. Again, I'm not exactly sure what journey I'm going to take you guys down, but I wanted it to be something that can motivate and inspire typical moms, hardworking moms. You're all beautiful to me. I see you. And I know how hard it is. So, with that being said, I hope that this is something that can help people. Because my story is more about standing back up. Doesn't matter how many times you fall down, as long as you stand back up. All right, have a good night. I'm gonna finish off these steps and I'm gonna write them down for my coach, and we're going places.